I got excited about building things all along. Legos ruined my life is basically what I say. I really enjoyed playing and building with Legos when I was a kid, and so engineering seemed like a good way to go. I never thought I would build robots that walk or robots with legs. I just sort of happened into it in my graduate program and found it to be a really exciting and an interesting field. So Ernie is a planar biped robot, which basically means that it's a robot with two legs that only walks in a straight line. And so we only worry about the front to back motion. We use a boom to stabilize its side to side lateral motion. And that essentially confines the problem to one that we know how to solve. With Ernie, we've looked at a number of things, not just how to get consistent walking at a single speed, but we've looked at how do you transition between speeds so you have gaits that are sort of irregular, not the same motion with every step. We've also looked at how do you include springs in the robot so that you reduce the amount of energy that's expended in walking a certain distance or at a certain speed. And then now what we're really excited about is looking at the effect of the foot design on how the machine walks. Back in the 80s, when things were sort of blowing up in the field of robotics, everyone thought that 20 years later you were going to have a robot in your home and they were going to be almost ubiquitous. And that really hasn't panned out. There's a number of problems that are still unsolved that prevent that sort of explosion of robot applications. The really popular system now is called the Da Vinci system, and the surgeon sits in the operating room at a console and handles some manipulators that you put ports into the body, and there's these small robot-like grippers on the ends of these tools. And so what's happening is the surgeon is over at the console manipulating these things, and then remotely that's actually happening inside the person's body. But it's not an autonomous robot that's doing the surgery intelligently, and that level of autonomy is what's sort of left those applications out of, or sort of left robots out of that more broad application in your everyday life. For walking, we've managed to get Ernie walking at a single speed on the treadmill with no human control whatsoever. It's all done by the robot in an intelligent manner. Expanding that out to multiple tasks like jumping or suddenly stopping or turning at speed, those are real challenges that we're working on now to extend those behaviors that the robot can execute without human input. I think people are more realistic now than they were when the field was really growing and really sort of new and exciting. I think there's a new appreciation for the difficulties of these problems. So I don't think in 20 years' time we're going to get to the level of robots that you see in the Jetsons. But I think in 20 years' time you're going to see examples of these fully autonomous robots functioning in society. My brother always asks me when I'm going to build my army of killer robots and how everyone should maintain good friendship with me, because when the army of killer robots takes over, you'll want to be my friend.